you know, many of the Junior World Championships don't go on to be pro bike riders. All these riders in this race dream about being pro, dream about being in the Tour de France, and they come here best prepared as they can, and all of a sudden they crash and they're not able to finish. It's so destroying for them. But like we say, it's a learning curve for them. But you know, look at the size of the peloton now. But even the Dutch, you know, enjoying themselves there. It's the race has started to settle down a little bit. There's a little bit more control at the front of the peloton, but still.
Потише можешь?
Леха, вперед езжай, опять упадешь.
Ireland as well. We knew they had a strong team today. I'm not too sure what's happened with the Danes and the Norwegians. They seem to be.
Let's have the whole summer sunshine. Well, as much sunshine as you get in Belgium anyway. Weather changing today. It was a clear start actually, but
Far behind. Why doesn't he just sit in the peloton and put his hand up? It's just these small things that, you know, count for a lot. The Norwegians not happy with the rider from Luxembourg. Yeah, tempers are high. This is what I said. A lot of kind of high-strung young riders.
Yeah. Crashes involving Switzerland this time, and that is Robin Donza who has his hand up there. Rider down from Croatia as well. I think that was an Estonian rider on the right-hand side too, in the blue jersey. This is Donza's front wheel change. A rider from Germany involved as well. The Croatian rider here is the number 158, Nicolas Gojkovic. He's the only Croatian rider. And it's a Spanish rider who's down, by the way, and that is Pau Martí. Italy have a rider down. Not looking in good shape, I'm afraid.
And now we're seeing attacks. We're seeing attacks from the Dutch now, and like we're saying, you know, in races, they'd be helping each other. I don't think this Dutch rider is going to go across on his own. He could do with some help, possibly trying to kind of prize some other riders off the front, but it does look as if Norway want to try and kind of control things, ride a tempo at the front of the peloton rather than attack, and this is what we're going to see. That effort from the second lap, 45.3, and this lap, 45.1. So, very frantic start, and I know it's only, you know, fractions of a kilometre, but it is coming.
I think, though, because he hasn't given up. He's still going. We know he's supremely talented. Had a crash on the first lap, did the pre-race favourite. The man who's about to turn professional with Bora Hansgrohe. A bit like the Pied Piper and all of those following him. He's always been at the front. At the front of the group at the back, though. Nobody else able to give him a turn. It's quite incredible, really.
Juniors haven't had a great deal of racing to go with as well. So, you know, I know that they've had a junior piece race this year and a few other events.
All of you on the telly, 53 seconds now. And more attacks coming. It certainly is a really different style of racing, isn't it, to what we're used to watching?
Yeah, I think it's
on the Wempers climb. Hardest section in the centre. And this is one of the best television shots, I think, on the whole course, because you can really appreciate, looking at the houses on the right-hand side there, how steep this is. It's a 9% maximum gradient right through the centre. Makes me think of Liège-Bastogne-Liège there when they used to go to Ans, or even back at the Tour de France in Sheffield, the climb that Vincenzo Nibali attacked up there. The houses on the side of the road. Well, they've certainly got their music down in that spot, haven't they? Every time we go through. Now then, more abandons, I'm afraid. This time, it's Vargas Hernandez of Colombia. Brian Vargas Hernandez abandons. Hungary man down as well. Looks to be a mechanical issue for Benz Mezaros. It's been brutal, this. Absolutely brutal. And Austria, well, poor old Marco Schrettel, we saw him crash in the neutral zone, didn't we? Well, you'll hear that word a while, won't you? And the gap is growing.
Yeah, and what's going to happen now? Yep, what's going to happen now? This isn't going to help. I think this is the same Dutch rider who was on the attack just before, and I don't think any team are really going to get this together to chase these three riders down. So it needs more of a counter group of about 5 or 6 riders. So with the Dutch rider now being followed by France, riders to commit to a kind of full-on chase. So I think now it's all about getting in a counter move, but the Norwegians are still a team that are really want to kind of drive this along. I don't think this is the right tactic because they don't have the numbers. I think the best move now is get a counter attack going, 5 or 6 riders, and then everybody committed to that and goes across to the group in front, and then only a little bit. Now this is a chance to get feet, also try and get some information, but Norwegians seem to be the team that most interested in trying to kind of chase at the front, but it's still a big ask, and we'll see how things develop. But so they've got the whole team towards the front now.
You know the circuit perfectly, I guess. What race do you expect? What
information had been given to them the last time through that feed station, because it seems to me it's kind of taken a lap for any information to get to these riders, to be able to give them that information that they need, because there seems to be a lot of riders in this field today unsure of kind of what to do.
As the rider we mentioned earlier on from Ireland in Dean Harvey. I'm looking at the Norwegians again. Now, United States riders, they come onto the Wimpers.
Effort, there's still just under 55 kilometres to go, and you can afford to just ride a little bit steadier. It's a frantic chase. I'm not saying they're panicking, but they've been given the instruction to start to ride, and they are riding, but they're riding with some esteem.
Problems for Miguel Itur. Saveli Laptev out the back. They've already had a couple of riders abandon as well. Not been a very good morning for Russia at all. Has been a decent championship so far. They have a women's junior. And behind, every time we get on this climb, any rhythm that anybody manages to put together always breaks up. Is that because someone attacks, or is that because just the gradient messes things up, Brian?
I think a bit about both. The gradient, when you're making that kind of concerted effort and you hit a gradient like this, you're always going to kind of suffer from it. Look at where the Norwegians are now. Okay, they've brought the gap down, almost broken it in half, but look at the back of the group now with today.
All movement again, as always, on the Wimpers climb. Every time we've had movement here, and poor old Edvardsen Fredheim, who just got back on, has been dropped again. Now France going on the move. Italy following, Estonia, Slovakia and Czech Republic. Darren Rafferty still there. He's just signed a contract with Hagensberg and Axiom, by the way. Oh, he's still at it. This is incredible from Kiana de Brooks. Every single time we've seen this group, it's been the same rider riding on the front. Dropped in the first lap, pre-race favourite, turning professional to great fanfare next year with Bora Hansgrohe. Kiana de Brooks still going. Josh Tarling in the meantime, having his bike change.
Yeah, 6 minutes to the young Belgian there, but this is a strong move from...
It's thirsty work today.
Especially for him.
There's hardly anything left here. What a selection.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like you say, the green jersey stands out for me. Coached by Stephen Gallagher. And Darren won 3 stage races in a row, and also Sol in the Grand Prix Pleuy. So he's a quality rider, and the fact that he's still here, okay, he's got no teammates with him, but still anything can happen. And can Ireland turn the clock back to Mark Scanlon? They're still in with a chance.
Berletta is a highly
Belgian team are trying to close this one down, and they aren't able to make this.
Well, Dolby's going to turn professional with the development team. Well, he's going to be riding in the 3rd division for the Uniorx team next year, so he's obviously a talent they've spotted. The bell rings, and it is just 5 seconds to Dolby. It's 8 seconds to the rest of the peloton. It's game on with 15.4 kilometres to go, and the last of the 8 laps around our world's host city of Leuven in the Flemish Brabant, right in the centre of Belgium. Simon Dolby riding a really aggressive race today. So there are the gaps. There really is not much to great in that red, blue and white of Norway. 20 seconds over Romain Grégoire. 38 seconds ahead of the rest of the peloton. Grégoire here is having to fight for his silver medal though. He's got Berletta just behind him. And here comes the peloton too. Spanish rider at the back there is Echeverria. Number 2 is Cole Kessler. 3 alongside him, Artem Schmidt, the other American on the right-hand side. Flanders in Leuven, where Per Strandhagenes, the 18-year-old, comes of age. The crowds have come out in their numbers as the morning's gone on. It's been 2 3/4 hours of full gas racing. Absolutely brutal stuff. Not many have made the finish today. This man, though, is going to acclaim all of the support he gets. Per Strandhagenes, the strongest of the lot on a strong man's course. Champion of the world at just 18 years of age. This is a name you'll be hearing much about in the future. Per Strandhagenes, the first ever Norwegian men's world champion at junior level. What a ride. Behind, this is how they take it on. It's going to be Grégoire, the European champion, to take silver at the Worlds. A sprint for bronze, though. Are we going to have a Brit on the podium on the right-hand side there? I'm not sure, no. It's Estonia who take the bronze medal. Estonia with bronze. It's Norway, France, and Estonia. It's Per Strandhagenes who does it for Norway.
Very entertaining race, very strong winner, and yeah, I think the Norwegians, the effort they put in today, they really deserved that. Came up trumps in the end with Hagenes, but Grégoire, he put everything into that silver medal. Mads Mikkels for Estonia, so just yeah, Estonia just hung on for the bronze medal, which is a nice bronze there for them. 9th place for Max Poole in the end, so a good performance there.
Champion, he's beaten Romain Grégoire and Mads Mikkels, with Svrecek and Hayek in the top 5. Morgado, Oyoli, Vermechelen, Poole and Lewis in the top 10. Great performance there, by the way, from Louis Joe Lewis. He was in the breakaway earlier on today, and he's managed to get up there in the top 10 at the end. cycling as you've never seen it before. It is the first ever UCI Track Champions League. The very best in the world will be on the boards. We will be there with every pedal stroke and every event. It all starts in Spain, on the island of Mallorca, the Palma Velodrome, venue for the World Championships previously. On November the 6th, it all kicks off. Well, this has been the day here so far. The World's on the road. Crashes in the neutral zone before the start. And we eventually got going. The attack should come on the first lap. Brake going away. Strong brake that, if they'd gone to sleep a little too much, Brian, it would have been danger of going all the way.
Just noticed right there from the start when that brake was going that our eventual winner was right up there towards the front. So Haggins was there and thereabouts, riding it from the front, but saving all the time and making that effort. You know, throughout the race, with many teams come up to the front, but still Lures, Tarling and Cadillac were holding a good advantage. And you know, so many riders kind of reaching out, but I think it was a case of trying to kind of save as much as you can, let your teammates do all the hard work, and it kind of paid for the Norwegians in the end.
France were very active, weren't they? They rode a really good race. They've ended up with a place on the podium as their reward as well. Italians not far off bronze. Valletta just caught in the final few hundred metres after he went away, firstly with his German colleague Schrag. Pickering then came across too for Great Britain. That's after his compatriot had been out in the break for most of the day, Josh Tarling. Pickering was strong, perhaps showed a little too much of that, Brian.
Yeah, little, and I think maybe get caught up with, you know, in that crash. But, you know, looking behind at this moment, you know, Norway were out of it. You know, you had 6 riders in front, 2 French riders, but it was all coming back together very, very slowly. Simon Dolby here making an effort for Denmark, but, you know, this is what the Norwegians trying to do, trying to set up Haggins. And you know, he was the rider that was having to do a lot of the work, but just look at him there, just playing it cool, not worrying too much. Came onto this climb and just accelerated, and others gonna get caught behind that crash just there.
He had 20 seconds at this point, and he held on to that gap. Even allowed a chance to celebrate towards the end too. Grégoire, who he'd been beaten by, I should say, in the Euros just a few days ago, was beaten this time. And Hagen is across the line as the world champion. Silver medal for France. Romain Grégoire looking very good at the moment. French champion, European champion. Had to settle for second place to this man, though, at the Worlds.
Championships in Flanders, Belgium. Dames en heren, van harte welkom bij deze huldigingsplechtigheid.
It sounds as though we're almost ready for the podium. Ah, there we go. The medals are ready anyway.
In Vlaanderen.
Oh, as if on cue. No shortage of ceremony and pomp, is there? It's brilliant. Rainbow jersey. This year, by the way, they're all made of recycled materials. Onto the back of the rider from the southwest of the country, from Sandnes.
The flowers will be presented by. De bloemen zullen uitgereikt worden.
The man from Fjord country around there. Beautiful part of the world. Has done it here in Flanders bike riding country. And the local councillor, Johan Geerleens, is there to present the flowers.
The Tissot watch will be